Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of OneMicNiteTalk. It's your boy, Marcos Luis, and I'm here with, of course, with Ashley Elizabeth Green. You already know. The tag team is here. Back for another episode. What's up, Ashley?
Hey, hello, my love. How are you?
I'm doing well. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us on this journey and joining us for another episode of this OneMicNiteTalk. Everybody, you guys, you seem to love it. And thank you all for responding to us. If you're new to the podcast, please make sure you follow us on all the social media. Let us know. Hit us up with the hashtag OneMicNiteTalk. We're posting the topics so you guys can join in because we want to hear from you. We want your opinion. We also want to thank you for everybody who jumped on the OneMicNiteTalk live the other day. That was banging. Yeah, right? I like that. So we're going to be doing a live once a week, and we hope that you guys will join us. So please look out for that on the OneMicNite Instagram page and soon to be Facebook too. We're going to try to stream for both platforms so everybody can jump in and talk about some important issues. Ashley, what's going on? You're somewhere. Where in the world is Ashley Green? That's what we want to know.
But before I get into that, I wanted to say thank you to you that the fans really have to thank you because you put everything together. You edit things, you put it together. You are the glue to this. So I just want to say thank you to you for that.
Well, I appreciate it. And I can't do this without you, and we definitely can't do it without them. So thank everybody for listening as well. So thank you.
And also, like, if you're new to this, to us, DM us and let us know what you like and what you like to hear more of.
Right. Exactly.
I love when, so beautiful. But I am in Tulum.
Tulum.
Guys, I went to Mexico. Yay.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Arriba.
Yes.
So when did you get there?
I just got there. I got here like this afternoon. I left in the morning and I'm here for a good minute, and it's beautiful. I'm not in a regular hotel. I'm staying in a yurt, so I'll be showing where I'm staying soon on my gram so everyone can see. I just think the reason I want to show where I usually don't show all the time where I stay, but I think I should show places that are so different than what we usually get when we go out, you know what I mean? And I just decided I always love yurt, and this one is like super big, beautiful property. I'm literally chilling with the owner's dog. I'm on my own little porch, so it's just really beautiful.
How does it feel to get away? Because we've been locked up for a while. I know you take off a lot. You've been to LA, but how does it feel to get away and be somewhere different, like outside of the United States right now?
Yeah,
because we're still in a pandemic. We are still in a pandemic.
Yeah. I will say, even though getting away from LA is great because you're with friends, but because I'm here by myself, it's a different type of group, I would say.
How so?
But I love it. I mean, how so? In a matter of like, you're just on your, when you're on your own time, you are on your own time.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm such a person of like, I like instantly, like, and I just like just now, I just been playing today. I finished putting my clothes away. I just been doing things like even though the property is so big, I'm going to the property. Like if I was with someone else, they probably want to see it right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't feel like doing that. You know what I mean? I would do that tomorrow. Like I wanted to do this, of course, podcast, but it's just something different when you're just on your own time and the quietness of it all. And one thing I like about the property is that there's no
TV.
I'm in downtown Tulum, but the way it's set up, you don't even know you're in downtown Tulum. It's so quiet, nothing but birds. I mean, it's like a forest. It looks like a park. So, yeah.
So for those of us who don't have the geography in our head, where's Tulum in terms of Mexico?
In Mexico?
Yeah.
Well,
central.
Only thing I can say is like central. Yeah, probably so. But if anything to help people with geography is that it's like Mexico is only 3 hours away.
Right.
So what's close to Mexico is Canada and the United States. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so at the end of the day, if that makes sense in people's mind, it's really closer than what you think it is. You know how some people are like, oh, I would never go to Mexico. Like, it's literally a 3-hour flight. So y'all can see it kind of walking behind me. It's dark in here because I have the air conditioner on. So I'm just going to keep it recording. We're going to keep it moving. So I'm just going to move to a different spot.
Yeah. So for the people who are listening to the audio, just kind of describe what it is.
Yeah. So I'm in this spot right here. Like, as you can see, it's an outdoor shower and things like that. So I'm just moving around because the audio is spotty. So I'm going to just sit you probably right here where the shower is.
So why, out of all the places in the world to go, why go to Mexico?
Because it's just cheap and it's just lovely. And I just think it's one of them places like, I've never been to Mexico. And during the pandemic, a lot of my friends were going to Tulum and Cancun. And I was just like, and I was going to do the same, but then something told me was like, no, don't take a trip. Like, stay home, do what you got to do. You know, like, you have things to get done. Right. You know, instead of taking a vacation. And if you're going to take a vacation, just go to LA, like something really simple. So that's when I just decided, like, I really need a COVID reset trip. Mm-hmm. So I just decided, like, why not just do Tulum? So that's what I'm doing. And it's been wonderful. So it's really lovely.
Nice. So yeah, let's make sure we go to the Instagram so we can see the full picture, because what we see in the in the video right now looks hot. It looks amazing. Oh, it's
so sexy. Like, if you have a man or a woman or couples or whatever, this is a spot. Like, this outdoor shower is so sexy. It's very, very sexy. Yeah.
So listen.
Yeah.
Let's get down to business. So we just celebrated a national holiday here in the States yesterday. It was Independence Day. And I saw a lot of people on social media talking about Independence Day, and some people were very pro country and pro United States and pro this. But then there were a lot of people of color who were standing in the face of some things that said that, you know, like Frederick Douglass, when this country was built, that, was built and the Declaration of Independence was signed with people of color who weren't, citizens.
Right.
How do you feel about being African American in this country back then and right now? That's the dilemma that we're faced with.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right?
Okay, I'm going first, huh? Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So I believe they was that July 4th when it was became that official holiday, like 1776 or something. They were saying that we were still enslaved people. I have mixed feelings about it. I usually don't celebrate July 4th just because I'm just not a holiday person, period. Like, I think anybody who knows me, I don't celebrate nothing unless it's Thanksgiving, which is sad.
Interesting.
Okay. Because
all right.
I only celebrate because I love me some sides. You know what I mean? So that's the only time I celebrate. But I will say this. There's two contradictory things about it, I feel. The first thing is I understand that we shouldn't celebrate something because we were enslaved. But I also feel like there's another side to that component in the matter of, like, I'm still American. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel like what I don't like and what we're kind of like walking the sweet pocket of contradictory is that no one's going to make me feel, because I'm Black and I come from Africa, that I don't deserve to be American because I was born here. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, I can't help that I was born here, but I know one thing. I have all the rights of Caucasians.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And no one's going to make me feel that I don't have those rights. So even though July 4th, it's not the best holiday and it doesn't represent the best holiday for Black folks, I still feel like we need to have some type of resolve with it because we're still American. And I just think that's the main problem that white people are trying to do, is exclude us, that we're not American.
That we're not American, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
sure.
I am American.
Right.
I am. And it's like, and I'm proud to be an American in my own way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the key
So
thing
that's
too to
how I
remember,
feel about it.
the key thing to remember too is everybody here came from somewhere, unless you are native or indigenous to this
We're
land.
all immigrants
We're
here.
all immigrants.
All of us.
Right.
But we act like, and that's the only bad thing. It's like we act like we own this place. You know what I mean? Like, it's what you said. If you're not indigenous here, then what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, you really don't have a spot to say. But I just feel like I think that's the key. But that also shows when things are triggering, that means a wound needs to be healed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I feel like even for Black folk, I feel like in this new generation, let's not lead with hate of July 4th. Let's lead with, let's heal from that.
Right.
Let's celebrate at the end of the day, our ancestors, just like the White House, right? Our ancestors built that.
Right. Yeah.
Let's celebrate that.
Of course.
What I'm saying is, like, sometimes you can celebrate things, but you do it in a different way.
Right. And that's I think that's where we are right now too. You just hit the nail right on the head, because we're taking a whole new look at things. Before, you felt like, oh man, we were slaves, we came from slaves. But now if you look at it on the other side, there's almost like a pride that this country was built on our backs. If you turn that negative into a positive, this country would not exist without us. We were the foundation of this country.
Yeah,
so that's the positive way to look at it. So we're just as much American as anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, like, when even coming here, I don't speak Spanish at all, but I will say, being a person of color, I am more sympathetic and empathetic, where I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't speak any Spanish, only a couple words, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I took my time, but I did notice the other counterparts that were kind of rude to them. Not everybody, but sometimes Caucasians are a little bit rude, a little bit privileged.
Sure.
And it's just like, but you're in their country, you don't speak their language.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was taking my time when I was talking to the people. I was like, hey, thank you. Even my driver, who I loved to death, they were so great to me. I was like, thank you so much for coming. You know what I mean? But that's just, I feel like maybe that's just people of color. Like, we know how it is to be the minority.
Right.
Which is not even true, because we're really the majority if we want to get into that conversation.
Oh.
But you were like, no.
Let's do it. Next episode.
Right, next episode, right. Because that's the fake out.
Yeah. Right.
We're really the majority, but I just feel like I said, a lot of,
and that's interesting. You're right. You're right, because there is a bit of humility when you go to another country. First of all, you have to attempt to speak the language, because the way when people come here and we're like, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't speak that language. What, kid? You're in America. You speak English. You know what I mean?
And it's weird, because if you go out the country, everybody speaks multiple languages.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody.
Exactly.
And I'll be honest, that's the only time I feel American, like a dum-dum sometimes, when I'm like, oh, I don't speak no languages. Right. And then I'd be like, fuck, when I was in high school, college, why didn't I just try to learn the language?
Yeah.
Right. Because at the end of the day, no one pressures you. And I told myself, whenever I have children, I was like, no, they're going to learn at least one different language fluently. Like, I want them to be better than their mother, And
definitely European speaking, because a lot of the countries are so close together. You drive up 45 minutes, you're in a whole nother culture. You have to know the language. You go to Spain, you go to France, you're right there, crossing the border. Switzerland, speak 3 languages, German, German, French.
You have to.
English.
We're the only place that's so ignorant where it'd be like, oh, that's crazy. It's like, no, you're crazy, because everybody else speaks multiple languages. And it just shows you how their mind.
Ignorance and arrogance.
It's very, very arrogant. Yeah. And it's just like, it's horrible. Dumb is horrible, but anyway, like, getting back on topic of, like, I think there just needs to be a healing done of, like, if you want to celebrate the 4th, that's fine. You know what I mean? Just have intentions of why you want to do it. I just feel like we all need to stop doing the same thing our older generations did. That's not our fight anymore. Some things are not our fight.
Right. Yeah.
There's some things that we have evolved to that we can get healing in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We should be the catalyst to heal those. You're right.
Yes,
because the battle, we're standing on their shoulders, but that battle is already, it's fought. So we're making progress. So why not let's keep making progress? And like you said, lead with love. Don't lead with hate. So we can heal. Right. So we can heal the wound. So the problem is the whole country has a wound to heal. So that's what I think people are fighting for. You know, people are asking, we go back to some of these episodes, asking for reparations, you know, asking for things to, you know, pay back so that we can feel complete. But when do we get to a point where we are complete? If we get reparations, are we still going to, you know, feel like, oh, they still
well, you know,
owe us?
everybody's not going to be happy because it depends on what reparations they're going to give us.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, are they going to give us, like, think about how long, like, think about it, like, even in the 60s, we had Jim Crow laws.
Mm-hmm.
So how far are they going to do it? Are they going to do it till the Emancipation Proclamation? Or are they doing it to
right.
Jim Crow law?
Exactly. Where does it begin?
How long are we doing this?
Where does it begin? You know?
That's the
what
problem.
What about, like, there's so many different instances too. What about the people of Tulsa? Did they burn down the...
Are you in
Tulsa,
my mind?
Oklahoma,
I was just about to say that.
What about that?
Are we going to be doing it till Wall Street?
Right.
What are we going to do?
What are they going to do? Thriving businesses, you know, that were demolished. Where does it all happen? You know, how do you begin?
How do you begin?
Right.
How?
So then do you take it and, you know, do we take it and we concern ourselves with our own personal wealth and our own personal gain, and how do we help each other? You know what I mean? Like, there are a whole different, you know, synopsis of what we do, not synopsis, but, you know, situations of how we can solve it.
Yeah. I would say the most thing we can do is, like, first help yourself, because if your cup's not full within you, you can't help anybody.
Right.
And if you're not healed, you can't help anybody. But I also think, like, we're so multi-hyphenated people. Everything can't be about wealth. Some of it has to be about your community and where you live.
Yes. Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm a big believer in that.
And I feel like that's where the reparations should go in. Put the money, if you get money, put it into the community. Build centers where you're educating people. Build centers where you're, you know, helping to push people forward in different ways. It doesn't have to be, oh, I get $100,000 in my pocket. It can be, you know, things to help the community.
Or make business loans.
Not
hard for Black folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Or grants.
Grants.
How about giving people grants to start a business? You know, you could put a short period of time, like you have up to a year to get a grant to start your own business.
Right.
There's many opportunities they can do.
And that's what I mean. Like,
they did that.
You're going into the community, but, you know, maybe we're giving classes on how to start your business first, so you know how to, and then you get a grant.
Just like first time home.
Exactly.
First time home ownership.
Yeah.
You got to take the classes and then you get the grant. Well, not the grants, but you get, like, the breaks. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or the money down payment percentage. There's so many other things they can do, but that goes back into who are we voting in for our district, who are we voting in for Senate.
Yep.
Because it ain't always about, I think that's the problem with the hoopla. It's not about the president.
Not about the president. It's all the people that lead up and from your community.
You know what we need? We need that cartoon again. Remember that cartoon? I'm just a bill, not a... We need that again so people can know how things have to go through the government, get things signed.
Right.
You know, that's what needs to happen.
That's exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah.
How do you think people in America, how do you think African Americans, well, first of all, look, let's do something. Some people don't like to refer to themselves as African American. Some people like to refer to themselves as Black people.
Yeah.
So how do you think, I don't know which one you refer to yourself as.
I mean, it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm like, I'm African American, or sometimes I just I basically say all the time I'm Black. But I think when it comes to when people ask me, like, oh, where are you originally from? I'd be like, I'm just African American, honey.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? But I think that comes with the Caucasian counterpart. When they always think you mixed. Right. You know what I mean? And you be like, no, boo, I'm not mixed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, how do you think Black people in America feel right now with everything that's going on? Do you feel like we're making progress? Do you feel like, you know, we're
I was about to ask you that as a Black man. Y'all been going through a lot this year. It's been really, like, the tension. Like, you go first. So how do you feel as a Black man? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I think that, you know, slowly you make progress. I think progress doesn't happen overnight. I mean, obviously, we're of a certain age, so we weren't living in Jim Crow laws. We weren't living in, I'm going to have my mother on an episode of One Mic Night podcast to talk about, what she went through living in the South. She lived through she lived in the South where she would go. They had white water fountains, they had black water fountains, and they had white bathrooms, they had white, black bathrooms. You had to go to that one according to who you were. So I'm gonna have her on. I'm gonna have her on an episode so she can talk about it.
But, I would love to hear about that.
Great?
I have never met anybody who's been through that.
And I think a lot of people forget that, and with that comes a lot of humility, thanks, gratitude, progress that we've made in this country, the people whose backs we stand on, fighting for our freedom, fighting for us to be able to vote, like we just talked about, for education. My mother tells me about separate but equal schools. They were supposed to, separate but equal. They weren't equal. The white kids got the new books. The black kids got the used books from the white kids from the year before or the year before. You know what I mean? So where are we now? Are we still in the same place? Have we made any progress? Who knows?
I think we made progress in like really healing. I will say this. We healed a lot in the black community right now on what ain't black. That.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And what I mean by that is like the stereotypes that whoever has made this up, that being gay ain't black. Mm-hmm. Being listening to certain type of music, that's not black. Right. Being smart, not black. You talk white. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of that, we are like, that's corny, that's ignorant. We're not about that anymore.
Right.
I think that is what we really have like definitely surpassed from right now that I've noticed. That we're into luxury. It ain't bougie to have luxury. It's our birthright.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. I feel like black people should have luxury. Why shouldn't we? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense that we work hard and we can't have nice, finer things. What? No. I don't believe that at all.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I mean, we definitely deserve it if you can. I mean, it's not a priority. It shouldn't be a priority. I don't think it should be. Nope, I absolutely don't. I think, I think
we have our first argument today.
We are. And
we have our first one.
I think it's good to be, it's cool to dress nice and, but everybody wants to be flashy. Everybody trying to live like a celebrity. Where are you going to be 5 years from now? Where are you going to be 10 years from now? Where are you going to be? Why didn't you go to college? Why didn't you save your money? Because when you get 65, you're not going to have anything to retire on. What are you doing? Why not? Here we go. Why not invest? Why not take that? Some assets are good. Okay, I give you that. Some assets are good. But why spend money on these, flashy clothes with the names on them? Why not put it in the stock? Why not let the stock buy you that item? And then you still own a piece of that company. You become owners of that company and you increase your wealth. I mean, it's not all about wealth, but it does, enable you to gain other things and help your family and help you pass down. You have kids, put your kids through college. But
I think what you're talking about, I feel like that deals with vision. What I mean? I feel like, but that ain't everybody.
Right, it's not everybody. No, everybody's different. Everybody's different. You're right.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like we're hard on our own when at the end of the day, as humans, right? Like what you just said, right? Mm-hmm. I need to have that vision come to me to order to do that. Right. If you don't have that vision, you're not thinking about none of that.
Right. You're only thinking about the short term. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're allowed to, I'm not saying you can't, dress nice. Do you really? I went through the whole thing too. I used to be like, I had all the name brand stuff too.
Yeah.
Where does it end? And I look back on all the money that I had. Where is the stuff now?
It never ends. That's why you have to stay, because it never does end, especially us living in a capitalist society. It never ends, but what you can do is stay grounded in yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know me.
But then that comes from a whole psychology though. Does it make you feel better just because you have a name brand on? Does it make you feel better because you have on whatever the name Versace?
I think, you know what? I think
shout out to Versace, but you know what I mean?
I think you can be both. Mm-hmm. I think even me, right? Like, I feel like I'm so blessed to be doing this. And I really realized, I was like, you come from a town, Baltimore, Maryland, where nobody travels, do nothing. And you've been traveling for the past years, really going hard the past 3 years right now, 3 years going on 4. And I just feel like, I feel so blessed to know that I deserve luxury. I deserve finer things. I deserve things. And also, like, I deserve these things even being single, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I also feel like, even if I don't have these things aren't me. So you have to have that balance of, you are not your thing. The sneakers, the cars, the money in the bank account, those are still not you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. At the end of the day. So I just think you have to get to a point, like, you don't give power to, if somebody takes it away, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to know that for yourself. So it's that balance.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not your thing.
You're not your thing, and I guess my point is, should we as people cut back on those type of things right now, and think and have vision and create, it's a mindset, because I don't think that, before, generations before us could have that vision. They tried, but because of things going on in society, it was much harder. We are at a different point now where the world is opening up a lot more for us. Like you said, the luxury in the travel that you're doing, it's luxury, but it is and it isn't. It's also educational, because you're in a culture where you're learning things. Okay, so I don't mean that kind of luxury. I'm talking about.
I know what you mean.
The luxury
it's
that
like
we're gonna throw away.
Buying cars, like
Unless you can buy that car and you keep it for 20 years and then becomes
renting clothes that you can't afford.
Right, exactly. Living outside your means when it's not necessary.
Well, I think that's a day-to-day thing. I think you just have to keep it real with yourself to know, like, what is my purpose? Why am I doing this? I know for me, like, I don't flex on nobody. Like, if I go somewhere, I just go, and it's not a flex because I know where I come from. Like, for me, it's just a blessing for me to even have the courage to do the things I do.
Right.
And and for me, traveling is therapy for me. So I'm the first person to tell somebody, like, I travel for therapy. Traveling is just such therapy.
Which is a thing that a lot of people don't do, but could do, and that's what I'm saying. Cut back on buying the Versace dress that you're trying to get. Take your ass somewhere else and, go to Barbados, go learn some culture. You know what I mean? Like, and open your eyes to something else. It doesn't have to be that sort of, fast moving thing that you just buy. And then
everything doesn't have to be so tangible.
Right.
I get what you're saying. It don't have to be so tangible. Like, it don't always have to be like clothes and material things.
Right.
Like these experiences, something that, like, that's priceless. No one can take that away from you.
Yeah, exactly.
I can lose all my money, but you can't take away my, like, what I'm going to receive from this and what I have been receiving already for this. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But but everyone has their own thing of what they like. Some people love cars.
Yeah.
So I get it. It all depends on what you like.
Right.
But it's all like anything.
And actually, a car is an asset. You take the car. It's a liability when you drive off the lot, but you keep the car for 20 years, keep it in good shape. Resale value goes up. 1959 Thunderbird. What you think that's worth? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like those types of things. So depending on what you do with it, those are the things that bring you long-term, whatever you need, wealth or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're right. Everybody,
it's just moderation. And like I said, when you get real with yourself on what you need and what you desire, you know what you need and what you don't need.
Right.
At the end of the day, we all know what we need and what we don't. Because there's been plenty of trips I'm just like, girl, you don't need to spend money on that trip. But you're spending money on that trip. You need to take care of that first. So there's been trips that I've like, can't do.
Can't do it all.
Yeah. Gotta wait.
That's it.
Other things need to be taken care of. Because sometimes trips can be too much escapism, where it's like you're always trying to escape somewhere. And it's like, no, you need to deal with reality. Stop running away.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a trip. No, you don't. You need to stay right in the sand. Right in the sand.
Exactly. Take a trip to New Jersey instead. Go to the beach in Jersey for this summer.
Not Jersey, but Rockaway.
Whatever, you know what I mean. Asbury Park, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Not Jersey. Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord.
All right, everybody. Well, we want to know what you think about that too. Where are we as African Americans? Where are we as people in this country? Do you celebrate Independence Day? Let us know what you think. Do you feel a kinship to the United States and the way the country is at this moment and how much progression we've had? Please, everybody, make sure you follow us on all the social media. My name is Marcos Luis. You can follow me at MarcosLuis. Everything. Go to the .com. You find out what I'm doing. Ashley, where can they find you?
Ashley Elizabeth Green. And DM me anytime, whatever you like. I'm always check my DM. So if you like things, please DM me and let me know. I am here. I'm open. Let's go.
That's it. And you can follow the show at OneMicNite. OneMicNite is spelled OneMicNite. Use the hashtag OneMicNiteTalk, and we want to know what you think. This podcast audio is available on all major platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. Look us up. We want to thank you for joining us. Yeah, slide on into the DMs. We told you once. You can also watch this on YouTube at OneMicNite. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
All right.